Hi everyone. How's everyone doing? Happy Monday, everyone. Back to Sherlock Holmes. We're on to the third case now, which is Bloodbath. And already the title is getting me excited. It should be a fun one. This light that I have, by the way, it washes out my makeup, so I look like I look like a clown in real life, but not here. My cheeks look a lot pinker in person. My lips look a lot redder in person. It's pretty funny, but here it's not, so I have to put a lot more on, or else I look like a ghost or just sick in general. So this is what I look like, but not really in real life. Okay, let's go to the game. Cases. Finish that. Bloodbath. Yeah.
Holmes, what happened?
I feel deathly.
Won't you look it? Let me examine you. Please don't tell me that you've returned to your old habits.
It's the man flu. I heard it can get really bad. Check pupils.
The pupil is dilated.
Oh, dilated.
The
What has he
temperature
been-
appears to be normal.
What has he been doing? Measure heart rate.
I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats.
Oh. It's gameplay right here.
A weak pulse, around 50 beats per minute. But you're dying, Holmes. Your pulse rate is dropping. We need to get you to the hospital immediately.
The antidote. Give it to me.
The antidote? You mean that you're poisoned?
Now. Please.
Here, drink it all. Don't tell me that you did this to yourself.
Hemlock and Datura. I was compelled to.
Holmes, imagine if I'd not returned home when I did. What might have happened?
I knew that you would.
Mr. Holmes, Inspector Lestrade is here to see you.
Mr. Holmes is unable to see anyone at the moment. He is unwell.
A good day, Inspector.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. I'm glad to find you here. I need your help. This is a strange one.
How is he okay
We
already?
have brought in two young bankers from the city, sons of lords, members of the chamber, and so on and so forth. They were found stranded in a rowing boat that was drifting on the Thames.
A romantic escapade with an unhappy ending, Lestrade.
What? Well, yes, they were both in the bath, but... what?
As I said,
And they were tied together.
you are lacking in imagination, Inspector.
Well, no, I'm not. Anyway, there was a banner flapping about in the boat with the RMS Oceanic printed on it and signed by the Merry Men.
The Oceanic. Isn't that the largest steamer ever built?
Yes, and these two young banker chaps are sons of the owners of the White Star Line, the company that built it. There are rumours of corruption.
I'm not interested in politics, Lestrade.
I'll keep it then. Here's another one that's a bit more complex and maybe to your liking. It's a murder, but we're unable to find any weapon. We haven't touched anything. It's at the Roman Baths in Strand Lane.
A murder, a vanishing weapon, the Roman baths. That's for us. Watson, fetch your hat.
Yes, a murder. Totally up our alley.
What a beautiful place.
With a dreadful murder. The body of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe is still in the steam room. It has not been touched, per your usual instructions, Mr. Holmes. I shall be waiting for you here, but please hurry.
Suspects. Tell me about the
Are
suspects.
you able to identify the men who were with the victim in the steam room?
Yes. The manager of the bath, Sir Gregory Pitkin, a lad from the city council, Garrow, and an archaeologist by the name of Blinkhorn. I think the plump one, Garrow, did it. He doesn't seem right in the head.
Well, we shall see.
The crime weapon.
You found no murder weapon?
No, and that's why I called you. All three witnesses and the victim were locked in when the murder occurred, and they remained so until we got here. We even had to pick the lock to enter.
I see.
And witnesses.
Was there anyone else here, apart from those gentlemen in the steam room?
Yes, a Mr. Phillips. He was the one who called the police. He will be able to give you more details.
How'd you know there are dead people inside? If you had to pick the lock. If you didn't go inside before the police came
Good
here.
day to you, Mr. Phillips. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my colleague, Dr. Watson. Would you be so kind as to answer our questions?
Certainly, sir.
Please tell us the chain of events from the start of your day. Everything that you can remember. The slightest detail may be of importance.
Very well, sir. I came in at 6:30 this morning, and I opened the baths. I made sure that the room was clean, and I prepared the towels. The brazier was still burning.
There was a fire burning all night.
Yes, Sir Gregory ordered me to light the brazier yesterday. It takes some time until the room is fully heated. The gentlemen had a meeting at 9 o'clock this morning. I wanted everything to be perfect. They'd been in the steam room for 20 minutes when I suddenly heard shouting. I ran to the door, but it was closed. I couldn't open it. So I ran out to the street to call for the police. One constable came up, and then there were others, and they picked the lock. Then Inspector Lestrade came along, and he told us that nothing should be touched.
Alright.
Did you receive any other visitors this morning?
No one. Until these gentlemen arrived. Sir Gregory was the first. And then, while we were discussing work details, Sir Rodney and Mr. Blinkhorn arrived, and Mr. Garrow followed.
What happened after that?
I waited until they'd all entered the steam room, then I returned to the hall. The changing room door was open, so I should hear if they needed anything.
You would have heard if someone had entered or left the steam room.
Certainly, sir. These doors make a lot of noise.
Let's profile you. Light wrinkles. Probably in his 30s. Fastidious. Oh. Scissor cut. Grooms himself. Lives alone. Oh, he cuts his own hair. Starch collar. We saw that already. Shiny buttons. Oh, he takes really good care of his suit. He must really like his job. Manchester City. Telegram. What is that telegram? Who did you send it to? What does it say? Tell me everything.
These baths are becoming sinister.
You there? Do you know anything?
The steam room's on the other side, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, okay. This way? This one? What's that? Oh, it's clothes.
Expensive clothes, belonging to one of the men from the steam room.
What's that? Nothing. Nothing of importance. Ooh. These ceilings look really cool. Whoa. When I went to London last year and I was in Bath, I didn't go to the Roman baths. Maybe I should have went in, at least checked it out. And it was also raining that day.
Good Lord, Holmes.
Ah, death with a peculiarly Roman piquancy.
Like the one you almost had an hour ago.
Let us forget about that.
Oh no.
There was
Ooh.
only one hit from the weapon. It pierced the right eye straight through to the brain. Death would have been instantaneous.
Okay, at least it was instant. Ooh, ugh, ugh. Oh my god, this reminded me of Game of Thrones. The eye. People who watch that show know what I'm talking about.
The wound should not have bled so profusely. This pool is rather large.
Yeah.
Some dirt or earth. I'll take a sample. Look, Watson. He was wearing a ring. He very likely removed it before the steam session.
The death is very recent. Between 30 minutes to 1 hour ago.
Oh, that's scary.
I think we have found all that we can here, taking into consideration the abysmal lighting. Constable, we have finished with the body.
We don't have many leads here.
What concerns me is that we still have to find the murder weapon.
Mr. Holmes?
Please have the body removed without disturbing anything else in the room.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
I was wondering, Holmes, it's fairly reckless to carry out a murder inside a closed chamber. Why do you suppose they did it?
There are a great many possibilities. The murderer was in a hurry. Or he is an artist. Or a ghost. Or he wanted to ensure that I'd be brought in on the case.
Probably the latter. You are ridiculous. Do you know that?
The brazier is still burning. The heat here is extreme. It is too hot. I cannot reach into it. I will need something to pick up this melted metal.
Okay. Item required. Oh, someone's glasses. Whose are these?
One lens is cracked, probably due to the temperature of the brazier. These lenses are for myopia. The wearer is short-sighted.
Short-sighted. That means they're the ones who can't see far, right?
It's horrible. So Rodney, he's dead. Can't we speak about it somewhere else?
Did you try moving the body? Did you touch the
Blood
body?
traces wiped on the towel.
Oh, I just saw a scar on his hand.
I found him. I touched his shoulder, thinking that he was just asleep.
With his eye gouged like that? You thought he was asleep? Really?
I don't want to stay here. Let us out, please.
Alright. How about you, mister?
I'm in shock. I don't want to talk.
And you?
It's horrible. I can't talk at the moment.
Okay. Anything else in the room? Examine the blood one more time.
I should check this blood sample at Baker Street.
Okay. Oh,
This key was covered in blood. I should ask Phillips about it.
his ring isn't here. Maybe it's with his clothes. Let's go.
These clothes belong to one of the suspects from the steam room. Clothes belonging to one of the suspects.
Okay. This bucket.
Champagne. for a special occasion. An ice bucket to keep the champagne chilled. Unopened, it was intended to be enjoyed after the steam session.
Okay. So all the evidence we have. Key, I have to examine. No, I have to ask Phillips about that. To examine this back in the lab, his analysis table. This as well. Okay. I still want to know what you sent, Phillips. What did you send? Find the missing weapon that was used to kill Sir Rodney Bencliffe. Okay, let's ask Phillips first. Maybe he has something to help me get the melted metal out of the brazier.
Mr. Holmes, I should like to take the suspects to the yard. You can interrogate them there. Any objections?
Wait.
Please wait. I need to do something first.
Okay, Phillips.
How many people have keys to the steam room?
We have just the one key for now, which Sir Gregory gave to me.
So, this morning you opened the steam room, and then?
I put the key inside my desk, but when they called, I couldn't find it. It had disappeared. I don't know where it is.
Did you leave the baths at any time, or receive any visitors?
No, sir. I did not.
Telegram. Yeah.
You are not telling the truth, Mr. Phillips. You left your work this morning, and you went to the post office, where you dispatched a telegram at around 7:30.
But how could you... No,
The telegram was for someone in Manchester.
Mr. Holmes, it's I'll tell you everything.
That's
I
my...
left the baths at 7:20. My sister wrote to me yesterday, and she needed a reply, or our mother is unwell. I was away for 20 minutes, and I closed the baths on my way out.
Did you receive a reply from your sister?
No, she wasn't meant to. I just told her to pawn my old school uniform so that she could pay for the medication.
Oh.
Did you check to see if the key was still in your desk when you returned?
No, I didn't. Please, Mr. Holmes, don't tell the police about this. Sir Gregory would give me the sack. I need this job.
I see.
Wait, why do you act so surprised when Holmes said you sent a telegram? It's literally peeking out of your pocket. You're not really hiding it very well.
There is a bottle of champagne on ice in the changing room. Do you have any idea who left it there?
There is? Are you quite certain? I didn't pay any attention. Do you believe that it's important? All these events are bad for the baths. And my job.
You don't have anything for me to take out the melted metal? How about in the other rooms? This is the frigidarium. The cold room? Open, open! I'll be able to open it eventually. No door shall be locked to me.
My God, are you all right? I wonder how this could have happened.
Yes, it is somewhat treacherous. Fortunately, I am unscathed. To where does this corridor lead?
To the frigidarium, the coal room.
Barely unscathed and by a very small margin. And treacherous is an
Holmes was pretty
understatement.
far away. It was fine. Ooh.
Those stones weigh tons. We won't move them.
It does not matter. If our investigation requires it, we shall ask for them to be removed.
Will the other rooms collapse? I think it's still locked. Okay. Next room. That was the entrance. Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, I need to find the murder weapon. No, I need to find the murder weapon. Oh, that's the entrance. Is there anything I can use?
Mr. Holmes?
Anything I can use to get that piece out of the brazier? Doesn't look like there's anything. Okay. I guess I'll just... Well, this is unchecked, so there has to be something else. Okay, fine. Take them away.
Mr. Holmes, I should like to take the suspects to the yard. You can interrogate them there. Any objections?
Oh, you take them.
None, Lestrade.
The belongings of the victim and the witnesses are ready to be examined at Scotland Yard. The ancient Roman bath at Strand Lane is soon to be reopened to the public. But what mysteries and forgotten curses might it reveal? Phillips is from Manchester. He takes care of both himself and the establishment where he works, and he is seen as a good employee. He went out this morning to send a telegram, probably to his hometown. Okay, let's go examine the blood and the earth on his table. Toby! Hi, buddy!
On the sofa for the third time today. Well, don't be surprised if Watson sits on you again.
Hey, buddy, you're so cute. Ooh. The grotesque murder of the former Captain Peter Carey has been resolved. Oh. Oh, this is what they wrote on the story that I did, the case that I did, the first one. The evidence that Scotland Yard received from the trustworthy source was more than sufficient to conclude that the murderer of Peter Carey was Peter Cairns, one of Carey's former harpooners. In fact, the dangerous criminal was caught single-handedly by brave Inspector Lestrade in a hand-to-hand fight. Peter Cairns is now sentenced to death. Now we all know how that fight went down. Lestrade went down with a single hit, and I had to fight Cairns.
This is where I keep my post.
The other letter. Is that another letter I can examine?
This is where I keep my post.
Okay. That lady still there? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, girl. All right.
Let us analyze this blood sample.
More signs? Oh no, no signs. Just a magnifying glass.
This blood has not coagulated well. It seems very liquid. That is strange. Let us see what is inside it. Hydrogen peroxide will bring any foreign matter to the surface.
Ugh, it's chem class again.
I must take a pipette and place several drops of hydrogen peroxide.
Okay. Ah, pipette. Dab, dab, dab.
Water. This blood is heavily diluted with water.
Well, it is a steam room. But I didn't see any water in there. Well, there was water in the fountain.
Pyrite, otherwise known as fool's gold.
Fake gold.
Pyrite.
Oops. Selenite?
Selenite.
Is there more? Oh.
White clay particles. Interesting. According to the color and its composition, I deduce that this sample is white clay. Now, I need to find which area near London this sample belongs to. The sample of dirt belongs to the White London clay region, located near the city of St. Albans.
Okay, let's go to Scotland Yard. Wait. Let me look at the stuff. Let's look at Bentcliff's first.
This ring was most likely the one that Sir Rodney wore. He removed it before entering the steam room. An Egyptian symbol. It is a very old jewel. I see the join. This ring was repaired, and quite badly too, with silver.
Why on earth would they wear such a ring?
A very pertinent question.
Cult?
An old and rather dirty coin. Rodney Bentcliff's notebook. It may contain something of interest.
Rip pages.
The last pages were torn out. We must find a way of retrieving Sir Rodney's last lines. Watson, please prevent anyone from entering the room. But first, fetch me a pencil.
Oh, he's
begin
gonna
with,
do that.
A few strokes of the pencil will be enough. I don't want to damage the traces.
Yeah. This is not a few strokes anymore. This is more than a few strokes. I think I damaged it already. Oh wait, no I didn't. This is not a few strokes. Today, I almost found it. This date will go down in history. Is Sherlock gonna read it? Do I have to keep doing this?
And then to gently smudge the leftover pencil marks with a handkerchief. I'm sure that Watson won't mind if I use his.
What? I wouldn't mind. What am I supposed to wipe my glasses with if if he had used mine?
Mr. Holmes, the coroner had... But what are you doing? Tampering with the evidence?
Oh, hush.
I prefer to make them talk. Today, I almost found it. This date will go down in history. Sir Rodney was about to make an outstanding discovery.
Wonderful.
I could retrieve only the final words. The rest of it is lost. Perhaps the autopsy will assist us in that matter.
I'm not sure that I can allow you to inspect the body now.
I am sure that you must, Constable.
Well,
He gave in pretty easily. Okay. Sir Rodney Bencliffe, age 63. The right eyeball has been burst, pierced to the hilt by a curved bladed knife. The blade cut through the orbit of the frontal bone, ripping a part of the frontal lobe and the corpus callosum, after which completing its trajectory in the cerebellum caused hemorrhagic lesions. All of these injuries led directly to the death of the individual. At the upper lobe of the right lung, there is an old injury filled with an amount of mucus and silated debris that may correspond to a chronic infection by elements likely inhaled in a burial chamber, a decaying mummy, for example, or a dried and decomposing food product intended to accompany the deceased in their grave. Is he hanging around dead bodies? The remainder of the body does not appear to have been damaged. Alright. Alright. Next. Oh wait, there's a map there.
A hand-drawn map.
Mine. Taking it. Sir Gregory Pitkin. To Mr. Blinkhorn. The interests that I represent require the situation at the baths to be changed for the better. At the present time, the frigidarium excavations remain under your direction, and yet the works have not progressed. You have failed to find anything of value, and we are unable to make the frigidarium accessible to the public. The frigidarium is a valuable asset in the recreation of the Roman bath experience. I urge you to complete your work within the next 2 months. You have this remaining time to conclude your archaeological research and to find yourself another workplace.
An ordinary pencil.
Next, Garrow's belongings. I think he was the guy with the bloody towel,
When
yeah.
Garrow found Sir Rodney dead, he wiped the blood upon himself. A phial with herbs. Do you know what it is, my dear fellow?
It's the St. John's wort flower, Holmes. It's commonly used as a drug against melancholia. However, an overdosage might lead to a rash or even hallucinations.
Oh? Pitkin's belongings.
An embroidered silk handkerchief. A fountain pen with solid gold trim.
Such a pretty pen.
Sir Gregory Pitkin's visiting card.
Okay. Let's interrogate them. Oh, can I actually see the body this time? I think I can. I think I see it. Examine.
According to the coroner, there were no cardiac problems nor lung congestion, but there were traces of fungus, possibly contracted from the Egyptian tombs. The coroner observed no stomach nor liver disease, if we're to accept that Sir Rodney was an occasional drinker and 63 years of age. An unusual wound, inflicted by a curved knife, which resulted in instant death, as the coroner's report says.
Okay. Anything else?
The bruising is in lines. some light bruising, caused by a rope. They were caused by a rope around the waist. Sir Rodney was descending somewhere.
Well, they were excavating. They were excavating the frigidarium. Like that letter said.